Okay, let's start. Hello. If you can hear me, hi. If you can hear me, give me a great thumbs up. Hi, everybody. I'm waiting for everybody to get in. I'm just making sure my screen and stuff looks neat for y'all. Hello. We're all in. I'm just gonna wait for everybody to get to log in. We still got people coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up there. How's everybody doing today? You can enter it in the chat because that's what I'll see, everybody's responses in there. Everybody's excited to learn how to school your children at home and how I do it with all my babies. That's for sure. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Stacy. Hey, sister. I like that. Hey, sister. I'm glad you are excited, Brianna. Am I saying it right? Brianna or Brianna? Because I know people be like, is it a short A, Brianna? In there, let me know. Hey, hey. Thank you all. We're all getting in. I don't want to jump into it, and we still got a lot of people coming in. I'll repeat it again, but this will be on my Candidly Karen YouTube page and also on my Candidly Karen's Instagram. Okay, so I just want to let everybody know. So if you know somebody that's sitting at home right now, you be like, girl, join this link right now. Join in so we can hear how in the world does Karen homeschool all her 14 children, and how can I do my child? I see everybody's getting in. I'm gonna give everybody a couple of more minutes because I know I got on a couple of minutes late myself. Technology, y'all. This is not easy. So y'all don't see Darian, but she's my little co-host over here. And you won't see her, but you're welcome to say hi. She can see your comments. Okay. Short A, okay. Brianna, thank you. Hi, Destiny. Hi, Kevin and Noel. I'm so glad that you all love our show. Thank you. All right, so I'm giving it a couple of more minutes and we're gonna get started with this. So make sure you have everything off. You can keep your cameras on, of course, but if you want to be seen, but other than that, you can mute. So I'm so excited to share with you all, how I school my children at home, because a lot of people ask and there's just not enough time sometimes for me to show you in like a reels or something on Instagram. So I decided to do this webinar, and I'll continue to do a whole lot more webinars to be a little bit more intimate, where I can answer your questions and talk to you, and just to be able to help you through it. Because when I started, Lord knows I needed the help. And I didn't have initially all of my children yet, but I was still a new mom to homeschooling at home. So it was definitely a lot. So I'm going to see where we are, and then I'm going to jump right in on it. All of your questions and stuff, make sure you put them in the Q&A as we go, because I'm going to have about a 45 minute session, so I can answer all of your questions and we can talk about it, and I can tell you all about my program that I use and all of the things that I've learned along the way. So again, you see it on the screen, how to school your children at home. Candidly Karen is gonna be uploaded to my YouTube page. So while we're waiting for others to still continue to come in, here are just a little bit of the reminders. Make sure that your microphones are muted, but your cameras can remain on. Also, feel free to type your questions in the chat box. I muted everybody myself, but just in case technology fails, you can always just click on, I think there's like a mute, an audio button and it's on the top. It should say mute, and you just click that, and that'll be your way of muting it. All of your questions will be entertained at the Q&A after the presentation and I talk about it. So just keep the questions coming in, because I know sometime when I'm like, okay, let's answer some questions here that they may not be, you may, oh shoot, I forgot what it was. So just, you think about it while I'm talking, popping into the Q&A so that we can, I can definitely answer that for you. So now that we got the house rules out of the way, what to expect today. So this is some of the things that we're going to cover. Is homeschooling right for me and my child? So I want to homeschool, now what? And your homeschool village and support, rewards and incentives, because you got to keep yourself motivated and your children, and some bonus tips from myself. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me get my little guide here. So while everybody is getting settled, I still see a couple of people that are coming in. And I want to just go more into like what I do, the program I use, how I started, what made me get into homeschooling. Because a lot of people think that, we're on TV, we have a reality show, and then here now we're just homeschooling. And I know a lot of large families homeschool, but also know a lot of large families that don't homeschool. And again, it's one of those things where to each its own. So with that being said, for those of you who don't know about me, which I'm almost sure you all do know about me, I currently homeschool my 14 children that are between the ages of 17, Darian, to my younger 4-year-old triplets, second set of triplets. And they're all different age groups and different grades. So on one hand, it's really kind of simple because I have my own classroom, right? But on the other hand, it is actually a lot of work, because although my quintuplets, they're all 9, but they all learn differently. And just like with my twins and just like with my triplets, everybody learned differently. So I have to adapt to their learning style, which we'll talk about more. So I educate my children using Bridgeway Homeschool Academy. And I will tell you how God has blessed me to connect with them and how it all started. You will be amazed. It was way before a reality show came along. But they have different programs. They have self-paced. They have live support with teachers, sort of like how it happened with COVID, when we were like slammed into being, a teacher, your parent, you're the principal, you're all of that. But they have also a blended, and I do the blended support, which is really great because I have a teacher that I can call on. They have advisors. We'll get into all of that. But I just wanted to let you know that the different programs, and they are accredited. That is so amazing, because a lot of people think, so do my child just be done with school? When no, they are accredited. They program have went through certifications, and it's acknowledged at different colleges all over. If you all follow me on social media, you will see that Darian got accepted into NYU for a summer program in dramatic writing. And it was amazing to see how open they were, to my baby that's homeschooled, and it was amazing. So your child can go to any college and university they want to, because Bridgeway is accredited, and Darian is also planning to, apply and enroll and attend for her 4-year degree. So with that being said, as we move forward, everybody always wants to know, is homeschooling right for me and my family? So I have actually a little quiz here that I want you all to take, a little poll actually. And I want you all to answer this. Darian's gonna post it up for you to see it in a second. And I want you all to just answer that. We're gonna take a minute to answer this. It's only one choice. You just choose which one is closer to you, and then we're gonna post those results in a second. Mm-mm. There's no wrong answer. Ooh. Got a few more seconds here. Make sure you're clicking on that. All right, so Darren's gonna post that here and see what our results are. So I want to have more of an influence on what my child learns. That is amazing. I love that. I'm glad to know that y'all aren't dissatisfied with your child's experience in school. And I see some of y'all need more flexibility because of your family schedule. That for sure is one of ours that we've learned. But okay, so I want to have more of an influence on what my child learns. I actually absolutely love that. And Bridgeway is going to be perfect on that. So let's go ahead and close that out. If you have it on your screen, you can hit the close button and to see. So homeschooling, as you all know, it adds a lot of flexibility to your schedule. It actually creates that bond with your child. And with you all wanting more hands-on experience with what your child is learning, that's absolutely amazing, because that's some of the things that I love about homeschooling my children. And I want to take it back for a second because I titled this, how to school your child at home. Because I feel as though when people hear the word homeschool, I feel as though they clamp up. So with that being said, I want to ask y'all, when y'all hear homeschool, what's the first word comes to mind? You put it in the chat because I want to just hear. And while you're putting yours in, I will tell you what mine were. I thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. How in the world am I going to homeschool my children? It wasn't a big price thing for me. It was just more of who do I connect to? I'm so used to being in a school district and also teaching myself, having that upper person to go to. But those are some of the things that came to my mind. I'm going to read off some of y'all. Let's see. What was some of the words? What are some of the words? Y'all can put it in the chat that come to y'all mind when it comes to homeschooling. Is it like, do you get anxiety? Are you nervous? Are you afraid your child won't get it? Are you not patient? Do you believe your child may have a learning disability where they need special need and you're not able to give it? But if you're in the chat, go ahead and put in some of the things that come to mind to you for homeschooling, please, so we can address all of that. I don't know. Is it in there? I don't know. I want to make sure if anybody had responded and I'm reading it. So my apologies. Okay, so maybe you all are excited then about homeschooling and you don't get like nervous. So some of the things that I want to just let you know as far as finding if it's right for you. It is a personalized education. It definitely, like I said, provides the flexibility. It's a safe learning environment. It requires a lot of time. That's the number one thing I think that people don't understand. Or for people who say, oh, I can never homeschool because they were thrusted into it in a sense with COVID. And it's nothing like that. If you plan ahead, it will be quite perfect for you and your family. You have to plan ahead. You got to set goals, and you also have to stay organized. Like you got to have everything out because of course you're still teaching your children how to be ready and prepared. So so now I want to homeschool, right? And you want to know, like, what do I do? Where do I begin? So the first thing you begin with is your state requirements. On Bridgeway Homeschool, there is a resource tab when you go to the website, and they'll tell you like different states and what the requirements are. I'm only going to speak for Nevada. You can also Google it. You can contact your school district and they will let you know. But I'm going to show you, I don't know if you all can see this. I don't know, but don't worry about it. Don't, because Darian was trying to get to it, but no worries, Darian. In the state of Nevada, there is something called a notice of intent. And it's a form you fill out, and it says, it asks for your child's name. Here, it only has to be filled out once unless you decide to put your child in traditional school. But it asks you just basic information, your name, your address. You declare that you're going to be teaching your child, what's the educational plan that you're going to use, and your parent, the family's, your parents or guardian's signature goes on there. It's a very simple form, and I filled it out. In here in Nevada, it's only for Clark County, it's only for ages 7 to 18. So like for my 6-year-olds that are in first grade right now, I do not need to fill out the form for them. So definitely check with your state requirements. Make sure you're not around here doing anything and they come knocking on your door because you don't have your children, in school. So after you figure out the state requirements, your next option or next plan on your to-do list is your homeschool program. So you have to figure out, when I started out with this, let me just tell y'all that it was when we first did this, Darian was in like this 3rd or 4th grade, and we did what was called a hybrid program. So it was a school here that had the teacher come out to the house, and they came out for 1 day a week for 2 hours, and it kind of like introduced different subjects to them and talked about each subject and what they were talking about in it. But we, meaning me and Dorico, had to like work with her, and that's all it was. They come out 1 day a week. We had really liked the program and everything was going good. However, we added more to our family, and then the school itself changed their criteria. So next it was going like to a library, and you would be around other children and the teacher would meet you there. And for our family size and having newborn babies and NICU babies, it was just a lot trying to maneuver taking her there and going to the NICU as well. But that's initially how we started with homeschooling our children. And then Darian went back to school. When she went back to regular school, traditional school, everything was fine. And then we had our quintuplets. So when we had our quintuplets, it was like, okay, how are we going to do this? But the school at that time was great. Well, you fast forward, and then we had our second or third set, our second set of triplets. And that's when it got like really crazy. So right before, I think it was around September of 2019, when we had our second set of triplets, it was just crazy trying to get them to school, newborn babies at home. And Dorico was like, well, you know what, baby, this is just becoming a lot because we're back and forth at the hospital. And I'm just more so nervous of what happens if they bring home something that could make our newborns sick. And Awesome Dawson was still in the hospital, having to have open heart surgery. So it was a lot. So I was never against homeschooling. It was just at that time, Dorico was like, we need to just pull them home. And when he pulled them out, I was just like, like, how in the world am I going to do this? Breastfeed, take care of new babies, homeschool them. And at that time, I just went on Amazon, y'all. I went on Amazon and I just ordered all of the grade. They're in 6th grade. I just Googled 6th grade social studies, 6th grade spelling, 6th grade this, 3rd grade this. And I had a ton of books come to the house. And I was just like, how in the world am I going to do this? And I had to sit and plan. Yeah, I taught in the classroom. Yeah, I know how to do lesson plans, but lesson plans for my own children. Y'all listen, I will literally be nursing a baby, pumping for the other, and telling them to open up a book. It was crazy, 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 crazy. So I don't wish none of that on y'all. So that's what made me go online and look for a homeschool program. So when I went online and looked up the homeschool program, Bridgeway came up. What made them come up and made it so amazing was, it's like they talked about the live support, the self-paced, having it there. And I thought, wow, this is neat. I called them up, talked to them, and explained to them what I needed. I only put Darian in because at the time she was like 8th grade. She was dealing with math. I started with the subject that I knew was my weakest. 8th grade math, I don't want nothing to do with it. So when I reached out to Bridgeway, I did self-paced, but she did a live math class because I needed her to just be 100% totally reliant on the program. So that's what made me go through a homeschool program. And I'm telling you to make sure you know your strengths and weaknesses. I ordered everything online. It was a disaster. So I learned from that. Next, I went online and I looked for a homeschool program. Then I took it another step further when I realized, oh, they have live support. For me, I didn't find a whole lot of programs that had live support. They all just sent me a bunch of material that was already pre-planned, but I still had to sit and like go through and still like plan it again. Because I have to teach myself and make sure I'm understanding what I am teaching her. So again, I knew I needed support. How I found support, I went online, I looked it up, I called, I talked to them, I had a conversation, I was open, I was honest. This is where my struggles are. This is where I am with teaching. This is how confident or comfortable I feel with doing it. And the advisor was amazing. So you have to communicate. You have to let people know where you are. Help them help you in it. So that's how I chose my homeschool program, because there's no way under the sun I could do it. And then through that, talking with them and communicating, I actually got to learn the benefits of Bridgeway Homeschool. I learned that through talking to them, they found out that I had several more children, and they were like, what? And talked to them, and they talked to me about how I can cater the learning to them, and they have all the materials that I needed, because I told them how I called Amazon and ordered all of these things. And they were like, no, this is what we have, we can cater it. And it was a huge blessing. So take the advice from me. Do not be on Amazon ordering all of these books. And you think, one of the ones that I ordered, y'all, was 180 days of school. So like every day you're supposed to sit there for that time frame, and you're supposed to do a page a day. And all of that was it was a lot, because if you're really teaching your child and they get like stuck on a math problem or stuck on this learning technique, I would not have to stop, go online, research, try to figure out how to help them with it. And it was a lot. And so again, through communicating with my Bridgeway advisors, that's how they got me connected with the live support, which we'll talk a whole lot more. But again, just wanted to let you know that's how we got connected. And then the accreditation, that was my other fear, is that I was like, so what happens when my child graduates? Do they just get a piece of paper saying they graduated? Like, what if they want to go to college? What if they, want to take up a trade somewhere? Like, I need to show proof that my child graduated. And then that's when they talked to me about all of the certifications all the teachers went through, the school went through, that it's acknowledged at all different universities. And that was a huge help to know that my child won't just be attending this program and won't have anything to show for, but just saying, oh, I went to school. So the accreditation is extremely important, because if something and you want to put them back into traditional school, you will have your progress report, your report cards, your GPA, you have all of that information to just transition back in the event that you want to. The learning environment, you need to have a designated spot for your child to learn. They need to know that every day, this is where my supplies are, my tools are, this is where my computer is, this is where everything takes place. You need to have a designated spot right there available. Now, there are times that you're going to travel, that you're going to go, that, my children, they are all over this house. They are all over the place. However, our central headquarters is set where all of their supplies are in there. Every single thing: computer, classroom board, desk, if I need to hire a tutor to come in and help them, that is the spot that they are learning. And it's amazing. So that's a little bit of what, if you want to homeschool, that's kind of like what you're looking into, having patience, having, flexibility. You cannot give up on yourself and on your child. Know how to reach out, how to have that support. What do my support looks like? If you watch the show, I don't have any nannies. I don't have a nanny, but I will reach out for a tutor. Again, I start with the subject that I'm not as comfortable in, which is math. My children get to a certain age, y'all, I don't want nothing to do with math. When you get past maybe 3rd, 4th grade, it's time for me to call in my support. And if you watch the show as well, my husband is really good at delegating and saying what he needs. And that's where I struggle at. But he definitely assists me in, hey, babe, you need to call in some help. It's okay. So I will hire out tutors. I will take them to a tutor. And your tutor can be your parents, your friends, your coworkers, other parents, former teachers that you've had. I went on care.com. I've reached out to the advisor at Bridgeway. They have so much supplemental support and it's amazing. And I can say, this one needs more help on the reading. They give me different resources online that I can go on and find the help. Don't be afraid to bring in the support that you're going to need. Don't feel like you have to do it all yourself. But that's what I did. I felt like, oh no, I'm mommy. I got early childhood education background. I should be able to get into this and do it. But I also needed help. And you have to know your strengths and weaknesses of your support. There's no way under the sun. I know that Gigi is not knowing anything about algebra. So why would I sit my child down and say, hey, Gigi, help them with this algebra problem? No, hey, this person's good with reading. This person's good with math. You find that and you let them know what your needs are, how your child learns, what's going to be great. Get any supplemental, let the teachers know if you're doing the blended live, if you was to choose that, but don't feel like you can't ask, have to communicate. I cannot stress that enough. When I did it with the self-pace, I was stumped. I was like, who do I go to? That's why I decided to do the blended live, because I needed the support. Ask, look around. There are so many teachers right now that need the extra income. They'll be so happy to come in and assist you and help your child learn and strive. At the end of the day, you just want your child to learn and be successful. And so again, look for that support so you'll have it. You also want to have rewards and incentives. You don't want to just sit your child down and say, okay, let's learn. You got to keep them motivated. Because a lot of people always say, well, Karen, how do you keep all 14 of your children motivated with the learning? Well, as you can see on this picture here, we were at a slime shop. I set these things up. I do like sticker charts, ice cream rewards, movie tickets, favorite toy. Amazon is our friend, our best friend in this house for sure. And these rewards can be set weekly, monthly, quarterly. You can set them, in a semester, you set them however you want. And with Bridgeway, the thing I love about them is everything is set just like how it is in traditional school. You have a semester, you have your 3 or 4 week break, you have your Christmas break, your Thanksgiving, you have everything set up for you. So you can sit down and set these rewards. One of the other things that I would suggest is having a calendar. My children ask me all the time, what's next and what do we do this week? So I let them know when you're through with this schedule and with this work for this week on Friday, we will go out. Keep a calendar there, have those stickers. My first graders are starting this year. We will be using a sticker reward system and it is amazing. You definitely want to, I'll be posting all of this online. You'll be able to follow along, but you'll be able to see how it's done, how to hold your child accountable, how to keep them motivated. And I also reward myself. Don't tell Dorico, but I do. I keep a nice little incentive budget in the system for myself so that I can go, Macy's and Nordstrom be looking good on the weekends. So, but I keep that, like I was a good teacher this week. I stayed on task. I stayed on time. So yes, I did some shopping myself. So I actually want to show y'all a little bit of things of, reasons why I chose Bridgeway, which you see the website there, homeschoolacademy.com. As I mentioned before, it's accredited. They have live and online programs that fit my family. Again, that's the blended. I'm not alone. I have my advisors. I have support constantly that I can call. It's the same advisor. You're not just calling up a random, call center and just getting someone. You have the same person. Her name is Betsy Joy. Absolutely love her. She's been with us from the moment Darian started solo, and I absolutely love it. It's true fit. They know how my children learn. They know how organized I am. They know how I like my things. School start for Bridgeway on Monday, and I already have all the boxes in, and that's what I'm about to go through with you in a second here. But all of my things have already come in. I apologize. So it's top quality curriculum. It promotes engagement and interaction. It feels good when Dorico and I are walking down the hall and we see the children in the different rooms and we hear them raising their hand and, answering the questions or asking or reading. I absolutely love that. Of course, all of the teachers are certified, so that's amazing. You don't have just someone who just wants to get some extra money, on the computer, just trying to teach your child. No, these are certified teachers, and I love it, who also know about homeschool and what the environment should look like, and they actually help you plan that out. Flexible learning schedules. Like I said, they have the live support. So let's just say your child isn't able to log in online. Well, they actually have it recorded. So like my children have doctor's appointments, we travel, we film, we can actually go to a recorded, already previously recorded session, and they can log in and they can see the whole lesson right then and there. It's homeschool friendly instruction. It's nothing hard for you to do. And for me, I needed it to be broken down. So when I went to Amazon and ordered all of those books and boxes of things, I had to go in there and I had to break all of that down and cater it to the way my children teach. And with Bridgeway Homeschool, you don't have to do that, which I'm about to show you exactly how easy it is. But it's so easy. You get lost, you get confused. That's your support there. Your advisors and teachers are always a call away. Again, school starts next week. They've already sent their emails out, just like traditional school, letting you know, hey, I'm your teacher and your child's teacher. These are the things they're going to need. If you need me, they tell you their easiest ways: email, text. My children's teachers are on text. We text throughout the time, throughout the night if need be. They're like, hey, Derek was really great in class today, and I'll let Derek know. Or they'll say, hey, there's an assignment that's missing. I love that. I love the fact that I can say, hey, what assignment is that? And talk back and forth to them. And I don't have to wait, between 8 and 5 hours, or go and wait in the pickup line, or talk to my child's teacher, or they're rushing, or set hours in, or set up an appointment. I don't have to do any of that. It's just a text away. But that is very simple. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I feel would be great that you should have for homeschool. Darian, am I still on? I want to make sure everybody can still see me. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So we talked about the notice of intent, which, can y'all see that? This is for Nevada. Darian is making sure everybody can see it. Zoom in a little bit more. So I just wanted y'all to see the form. It's a simple form that you would get online. Again, check with your school district, but it's the notice of intent form. And it's basic, ask you to sign it, fill it in. Again, check with your school district, and they'll tell you what's the rules if you have to file it every year. There's another form that the state of Nevada has, and it's a notice of intent to participate in programs. So Darian was able to participate in volleyball after we pulled her out of traditional school. And that's because I was able to go to the school and talk to them and say, hey, Darian's going to be homeschooled. However, she still wants to be a part of your athletic department and play in some of the sports. And so I just had to fill this out and submit it, and they were able to keep Darian on. I want to talk about that really quickly, because a lot of people think that when your child is homeschooled, they don't have any social experience. They don't get out, no interaction with that. That is not true. You can still contact your local school district or your zone and ask for that to be, ask for your children to participate in the programs there. You talk to them. Of course, you can always sign up for other youth sports or anything out there. But because you are zoned in that area, you can always go out, reach out to the schools and talk to them. I didn't know about that until one of the other parents, that's your support. You're reaching out to these parent clubs and talking to them. And that's when they told me, oh, my child plays soccer still at this school. And I thought, how's that happening? And that's how, because she was able to still participate in the program. So this is something that is very dear to me. Can you all see that, Darian? Is that good? Yes. Right. See that? This is my timer. My children, I know that this looks like kindergarten, but trust me, my 12-year-old, my 13-year-old, they still want to know, like, how much time got to be on it. This timer is everything. It's visual for your little visual learners. And it also is a sound on there that goes, that goes off and you just hit it. But I set it to however long they are supposed to be working or reading or doing anything so that they don't have to come to me and say, is our time up? Is our time up? This is going to be your friend for sure. A lap board. A lot of this stuff, a lot of you may already know, but I'm just want to show it and make it easy for everybody. This is your lap board. It's easy, white and right, you can erase. Your child will need this when they're online. And holding it up for the teacher and showing that this is going to be your friend. So I'm going to show y'all what a Bridgeway homeschool kit looks like. Remember I talked about all of that stuff that I ordered online? I am going to try to get this box over here to show y'all. Show y'all what it is. And see. Y'all hear a little funky sound? That's Dion Dorico. I just thought I'd let y'all know. He is right here. He's about to jump on and give y'all some support information. But I want to show you all the things. So you get this box in the mail, and this is why this is the teacher part of me coming out that I was so excited to get. I was like, Lord, where were y'all all these months ago when I was ordering all of this stuff and going through it? So your child will get, my children have 4 subjects. They have science, social studies, math, and language arts. So I'm going to get them all out here for you all to see. I want to show this because this is the number one question I'm always asked on social media. What is Bridgeway homeschool? How do you teach? How do you know what to teach? How do you know to stay on task? How do you know to just follow along? I don't know what to teach my child. Well, I'm going to show you. So the first one, so you have, and make sure you can see this. Darian, is this neat, clear? All right. So I'm going to start with social studies. They already have their own learning materials. This is social studies. And it's through Discover. And you have a 1A, that's for the first semester. And then you have a 1B. We're not going to look at that. It's the same book, it's just for second semester, meaning like January. So when you get your kit, you're going to get your books in there. You get you some Bridgeway gear here. That's going to be so easy because when your child is like rushing and want to, they don't know what to put on for the camera that day, put on your Bridgeway shirt. Absolutely easy. That was another thing that got me, because having all my babies, it's like, yeah, I needed that extra. So this is the social studies book that I just showed. So I'm going to show y'all what a lesson looks like in this. So it has your regular table of contents. If you're doing self-paced, it tells you, it'll give you all of the instructions in there. But I'm just going to talk to you about the blended live that I use. This is with the teacher support. So let me go back and make sure I'm breaking this down for y'all. My children do the 4 subjects that I mentioned. They do not do all 4 subjects the same day. So they have 2 subjects a day, and they go to school Monday through Thursday is all their core subjects, and Friday they have 1 hour. It's called a fun day. So on a Monday they have math and science. That's on Monday. My children log on at 9 a.m. for math. They have an hour break after that. And then they log back on again at 11 a.m. for science. 1 hour. That 1 hour, the teacher is going over that particular lesson for that. She'll say, okay, we're going to go over it. You do this particular one and you have your checklist as to what you're going to do after that. So let me just open a book and show you all. So again, we're on Mondays. Mondays is math and science. Tuesdays is social studies and language arts. 1 hour a day. That's 2 hours a day that they're on the live. And for our schedule, everybody's schedule is different. They have an hour break in between during that time. And then when they do their next class, then they're done. And then I now work with them with all of their homework. So let me just show you in here. So it tells you everything in this book. I'm just show y'all. So it tells you, so when the teacher tells the child to plan in your day, gives you all these viewpoints and lessons in there as to what you need to see. So let's just look at the first lesson. So my children starts on Monday. This is first grade, by the way. I apologize. This is first grade. This is 1A. So each book grade level, they'll get 1A. If they're in second grade, they'll say 2 and so forth. It'll have it on there. Then when you get in middle school, it'll actually have like a history book and things like that. But we're going to just stick to elementary here. So the first lesson that my children are going to learn next week is lesson 1. What makes a family? So when they log on to their live class, the teacher is going to open up and talk about this lesson right here. She's going to go overview, talk about their family, have them answer some questions. They're going to read some of that through this. She'll, read through that with them. I just want y'all to kind of see. I'll hold it back up. Then at the end of reading through that, you have what's called this thing. I absolutely love that. It's called a show what you know. The show what you know, this is online. This is in your book, you can do it. I always do it in the book with my children first, but this is some of the work that your teacher is going to require to be turned in. When you do this online, like this particular one is 3 questions. It's first graders, so they're not going to give you a whole 20 multiple choice question lesson to do. But this one is 3 questions in. It asks simple questions, like for instance, who are the people in this family? Write the letter of the person in the picture next to the word that describes them. So it's simple. Your child can look at this. You can sit with them to do this. And then you're going to log in. When you log in, you're going to go to this show what you know. Your teacher already tell you what's due. You're going to log into this and you're going to submit it and turn it in. And it's just that simple. You'll get the grade right then and there. So you will know. And there'll be a checklist. So simple, y'all. Then you're done. You're done. That's it for that lesson. And just in case you get stuck or lost, have a teachers that have the parent guide teacher here that you can actually turn to in there and you can read. It gives you so many different things in here. If you have a learning style, it tells you how you can adapt that lesson. Learning styles, auditory learners, listening to the speeches. If you are a visual learner, they enjoy looking at the photos in the book. And then you also have kinesthetic learners who enjoy walking around. You may want to walk around a community. So they give you the learning styles. When you talk to your advisor, you talk to them about how your child learned. They have a comprehensive type questionnaire to ask you, and you'll go through all of that. So if you don't know the learning style of your child, you talk to your advisor, they'll help you figure it out. My children are a mix of all 3 of them. So with that being said, I'm constantly looking at ways of how I can adapt that learning to them. So this guide is going to be your best friend. It has the answers in it. It has the learning styles. It has game ideas. You're not just limited to reading in the book and just giving it to your child and sitting there. I love social studies. It's my favorite subject to teach. So when I sit down with my children and teach it, they're excited. They're like, oh, wow, let's do this. So I think you start with your subject that you absolutely love. Everybody has one that was their favorite in school. And that's going to be the one that you're going to teach really well. You start with that and you adapt and you learn with the remaining ones. So that was social studies. Like I said, language arts is the same way. It has the show what you knows in that. Practice writing. I'll show you this. This is first grade. So the practice writing. I just want to make sure I show you all what's going on. If you want to be ahead of your child, it's like, hey, I got this, let's move forward. You can move on to the next lesson and get them prepared for that. Let's just say, you know what, my child is doing exceptionally well. I want to move them up. You talk to your advisor. You can do a blended, add in a upper grade in there, and you grow. You don't have to keep them. It's like, when you go to traditional school, gifted and talented, if you knew if your child, or if you were smarter, they put you in a higher grade or a higher class that you can learn from, a different level. So it's the same with Bridgeway. It's the exact same. You customize it, you talk to your advisor. But again, that's why going through a homeschool program is so much more important for me than doing this all myself. And keep the communication out, talk to people, and have that. So one of the other things I want to show y'all this as well, that you will get. And again, I'm speaking from the mindset, I'm that busy mom. I don't have time to order and get all these supplies in and figure it out. So this is heavy, excuse me. All of everything you need for math, your math book, all of this. Manipulatives, this is what you will get. It has your kit in there. You don't have to go running around to Amazon or anywhere like I kept doing to order the things that you need. Everything was here. Now I supplement with my children. There are still things that I could buy and I do and I have for them. You can still do that as well. However, your initial items that you need, it all comes in here. You will need these because the teachers does say when they're online, they'll say, hey, can you have this particular kit available for your child so they can count and have that for the math live. And again, amazing. So if you are a super busy parent like me, if you do not feel like going in trying to get all the supplies, if you have a child that you feel learns better at home and you can do that one-on-one learning with them, this is going to be your route to take. And I am going to be showing you exactly how I teach my children. I'll be posting weekly how I do it, how they are learning, how we do the reward system. I'll be showing you all of that stuff. I know I've been talking a lot. I know y'all probably got a lot of questions in there. Keep them coming because I'm not able to see. If there's something in more in particular you want me to show, I will. But I am going to, I asked my husband to come because I wanted him to kind of talk about his support that he offers me. And he's over here just beaming to come and talk for a quick second. But I appreciate that I have him being supportive that want our children to learn at home. I was never against schooling them at home. I was just not right then and there for the right timing of it. But we was able to work it out and I was able to talk to him and we figured out a schedule and, with tweaking and how to make it work. So I will have him come here and share just a few, tips and tricks along with me telling you now how he was so excited. Come over here, boy. Gotta stay. So while he's getting seated here, let me know if y'all see him. Good. So these are some of my tips and tricks for homeschooling or schooling your children at home. You have to breathe in, breathe. When you first get this kit, think about it. I know some of you all probably was like thrown into the COVID schooling and you were literally thrown into it and we were dealing with a pandemic. And if that was your case, it will not be your case this time. You really and truly will have support, find those local communities. I myself am going to be starting a community of going around and talking to other parents and showing them and having your children come out to some events. Because not everybody, of course, wants to do the traditional schooling. However, a lot of people want to do homeschooling and they have a million questions and just kind of like don't know. And when I tell people in the past, when I used to say, yeah, homeschool, they would be like, what? Huh? How? Why you do that? Your children can't socialize. So no, It's so much easier and better. But breathe, ask questions, stay very organized. You don't have to be OCD like Dorico, but staying organized is key to being success. Expect it to be rough the first few weeks. Constantly tweak. School starts for us next week, and trust me, I probably won't really get into the groove of it until the end of September with 14 children. So constantly tweaking. Don't ever overwhelm yourself or your child. And you take notes of what's working and what's not working, and give yourself rewards and praise as you go constantly, because you're already doing an amazing job just taking on this big feat. So give yourself some praise. You're doing good. So Dorico here is going to tell everybody, how can I say this? Dorico likes to, he likes to delegate, right? So when we were thrown into this homeschooling, his thing was just bring the babies home. And I'm like, he ain't breastfeeding. Don't you love when people initiate things and they're not doing the bulk of the work? That's still some right here.
I don't know what to say because you said so much. I don't know why I'm here.
No, don't do that.
I don't.
His support, y'all, but just as you know, father, what type of support would you say that fathers or other people in the house can give to the parent, the main one that's homeschooling, like myself? Like I'm homeschooling, there's things that you do to help. That's a huge help.
Just basically agree with your wife, or wives, have your husbands do what I'm doing, and just, yes, ma'am. Yes, mommy. Do you need anything else, mommy? Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, really just being a backbone, making sure our children are listening to her. You know, sometimes she'll have to call them my strong voice to put them in check. Oh, but no, just really being very supportive as any, I guess, dual parent household, or, you know, grandparent supportive group, or uncles or aunts, you know, would support their siblings or their nieces or nephews. Just being the support for that main caregiver regarding the homeschool. That's basically what I would say.
Yeah, because there's times that he can see that I'm trying and I'm just like a lot going on, and he'll say, okay, so what is it that they're doing right now? Or they're just reading. Okay, come over here and read with me.
Yeah.
And that's a huge help. Like when he's running errands and I'll say, well, I'm about to sit down and read with this child. You know what, baby, they'll come with me. They can read with me. So knowing how to ask and give that support is a huge help, because it helps me out when he's running errands and he'll say, well, I'll take the Quints with me and I have them read with me in the car, or I have them go in the grocery store and I'll let them buy the grocery, or pick it out and looking at numbers, just things like that. So it's a huge help. It may seem like a little bit, like at the time you're like really just going to go in the car and read, but you would be amazed at what that does, because they're having a different person that's taking that time with them. And don't ever let them see you lose patience with them. That is like the worst thing. You don't ever want your child to see like you're giving up, or, you know, you just screaming at them and they can't get it. If you need to stop, hey, baby, we're going to come back and check on this later. We're going to stop for a second. Or if you see your partner over there struggling with it, you may have a different, because Dorico have done that too. When I'm teaching them how to read, sometimes he may have a fun way of breaking or decoding the words down, and they get it. And now they come right back to me and we pick right up, and it's so much more smooth sailing from that point. So that's the main thing I wanted you all to know, is how the support helps, how the support looks, and different little tips and tricks there that you can help with the homeschooling. So I think with that, that's Darian.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is your schooling your child at home presentation from me. It is fun. It's a great bond. It's so rewarding for both you and your child. So happy schooling your child at home. You can go to Homeschool Academy. I'll be doing so many more of these webinars, so don't feel like this is one and done. But if you're interested, you want to start, you want to call, look into the program, you can. If you enroll, you can use the code Dorico23 for $100 off, because I know a lot of people always ask, you know, how much does it cost, and is it expensive, is it that? I cannot tell you what your budget is or what you're looking at. I can only tell you, seriously, give them a call. Talk to them, explaining on what you're going through, how you want to be more of an influence in your child's learning. And then in that way, that'll be like that'll be the first road to take. And then it can help customize and look for things in your budget. But don't forget Dorico 23 and use that because every little bit helps. So I'm going to open up now to the Q&A and see what the questions are in here. If you have any questions, let me know. Type them in there. I see. Oh, Destiny, I did answer that. Kevin and Noel wanted to say hi. They
Hey,
love
Kevin
us.
and Noel.
We love you. Thank you. So Brianna wants to know, I'm sorry. How young did you start your younger ones? That's the first question. How did you incorporate them into doing your school-age children? So how young did we start? Shucks, the younger ones. Well, we're looking at Diaz and Dior. They started in kindergarten with homeschool, and now they're in first grade. So that's the youngest. Of course, Bridgeway also does preschool. They have a preschool curriculum that we've used as well. So you want to start them early in it. You know, they're young, they're not going to sit long, they're not going to really do a whole lot with that, but you can incorporate a whole lot of learning in different areas. Like Dorico and I mentioned, going to the grocery store, going outside, walking in your community, showing signs. Those are all great, just natural ways of teaching your child. So I don't see a lot of questions. I must answer quite a bit of questions then going through this, but if you have any questions, let me know so that I can answer them for you. And you can also answer them live. Darian will go through and unmute if need be. In that, I'm here touching the screen, so if y'all see anything, let me know. Any other questions? Any questions, Darian, coming up?
No, they just have to raise their hand if they want to.
So if you want to speak, you can raise your hands and we can take your questions that way as well. I was really answered a lot of questions for y'all, which is good, but I still want to make sure that I have it. Someone asked, will you need to fill it out for them when they turn 7? Yes, that particular form for Destiny, that particular form for notice of intent is for ages 7 to 18. So like next year when they turn 7, I would need to fill it out for Diaz and Dior for here. And then that'll be it, unless I transition them to a traditional school. And then, okay, I did that one. Or is it that I know since they have never been in public school? Oh, you're in Nevada also. Yeah, so the way that I understand it is you fill out the form when they turn 7, Destiny, and then you just submit it then, and it tells you on the form, it does not need to be refilled out. Again, is how they have it stated on there. Did I answer that for you? But check with Clark County, because I know you're in Nevada too, but check with Clark County. How old is your child? And I'm trying to see if Darian can put you on to unmute. Can you unmute Destiny, Darian? It'll just be
Left up.
There's 8 and 10, and then I was wondering about my younger one. He's only 2 now, but I was wondering when he's of age, would I need to complete the letter of intent if he starts off homeschooling? But you kind of answered that. I would just do it when he's 7, right?
right. You would do
Okay.
it when. Yeah. So how many children you have again?
I have 3. They're 10, 8, and 2.
Oh, okay. Great. 10, 8, and 2. And what makes you want to homeschool?
To be able to spend more time with them and have more of an influence on their curriculum.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Same thing with us.
Yeah, it is. That is amazing that you want to do that.
Yeah.
So how are they doing are they in traditional school now? Because I know school started here already.
Yeah, they just started at Coral yesterday.
Oh, good. Our children went to Coral.
Yeah, they went to Coral.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, they went there. So it's definitely a good program if you chose to do Bridgeway. It's really good. I will call them and just talk to the advisors as soon as you can and just at least open up that door to the communication as to the things that you need. And even if you don't do all three, well, I know you have the 2-year-old, but even if you want to start with one, that would be good to kind of get your feet wet. Start with the one that you feel needs more of the one-on-one as of right now, and
Okay.
then work the way into adding the other one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm,
Do you have anybody else, Darian? You
No.
can mute again, Darian,
And why you didn't hit done? Why aren't you hitting done?
because some of those questions, oh yeah. Okay, y'all, so if you don't have, I don't want to hold nobody on. If you don't have any other questions, or anything, I don't want, like, again, I don't want to hold y'all on, but if you have any other questions or you need me to explain, more of the curriculum, you have a question for Mr. Supportive husband over here, by all means, let me know. Definitely this will still be added on the Candidly Karen YouTube and on my Instagram as well under candidly.karen. But I don't want to close out if anyone have any other questions or anything for me. So what I'll do is if anybody else have any other questions, you can raise your hand. If not, I'm gonna close out. So I'll give another, minute here to see. Just making sure. Okay. But I don't think we have any other questions. I want to thank you all for coming and joining on. Again, I'll be doing more of these webinars, going more in depth. I want you to see actually how my children learn so that maybe your child learn like them and you're like, oh, I like that idea or the activity or the way you taught that. So I'll be doing a lot, many, many more of these. But I want to thank you all for signing and registering on to come in. Don't forget, it's Bridgeway Homeschool. It's who I use. The website is on there. And you don't forget to use Dorico23 for your code for $100 off. And if you have any other questions that you didn't want to ask on here, feel free to, DM me if you want through candidly.karen. All right. Thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.